Right, I just thought I'd show you what TinyGrab's good at, 'cause it's a great little application for taking screenshots and uploading them, so you can use them in things like web forums, that sort of thing. Just to show you what it does, I'll fire up Safari. We'll maybe jump onto BBC News, and what I'm going to do is just take a small screenshot. I'm going to use Command Shift and 4 so we can actually select an area of the screen, and what it will do is it'll take that screenshot and pop it into a file for me. So we'll just select that bit at the top there. Okay. Now at the top, in the toolbar, you'll see TinyGrab there has just uploaded it to TinyGrab storage area. Alright. It's also copied a URL to our clipboard. So if we now paste that URL into Safari, you can see the small clip. Now that's great if you're on forums and you want to take screen clippings, that sort of stuff. It makes it so quick and easy to use. Yeah, I use it all the time. The next application I want to show you is something called Size Up. What Size Up enables you to do is control the positioning of your windows purely using the keyboard. Personally, I much prefer doing that. It means I don't have to stop what I'm doing to grab the mouse to move things around. It's a small utility. It sits in your taskbar. There's lots of different options and flexibility as to how you control what key presses do what to your windows. Yeah, so it's quite flexible. So let me just show you some of the things you can do. Let's fire up Find a Window. It's on the left of my screen at the moment. I can switch that quite easily to full screen. I can pop it into the center of the screen. I can move it to the left, to the right. I can even put it into a quarter of the screen. So if you've got multiple Finder windows, for example, it's a lot easier to move things around. Okay, this is also really comes into its own if you've got large monitors or if you have multiple monitors as well, because you can flip things between screens and between spaces as well. Personally, I find it invaluable. So this application now is something called Cinch. And what Cinch does is gives you similar sort of window behaviors to what you would get on Windows 7, the ability to be able to drag windows to certain hot corners or active sidebars, for example, and actually manipulate where those windows are going to appear and the way they're organized. What I'll do, just to show you what I mean, I'll fire up a few windows. Let's fire up Word and Excel. Okay, the first thing you can do is you can use the sidebars to actually configure and detail where those windows are going to appear just by dragging them. So for example, I'm going to drag Excel to the right. Okay, you'll see there that it's now taking up the right hand side of the screen. The same if I drag Word to the left, they're now taking up two halves. I can also drag to the top, in which case it goes full screen, or to the right and left. Okay, it's not particularly special. I mean, there's nothing there that you can't do with Windows 7. It just gives that functionality to OS 10. And again, I find it a very cool application to use. The next one we're going to look at is something called Hyperspaces. Hyperspaces is a kind of an extension to the normal OS 10 spaces. It enables you to customize each individual space. So for example, I'm currently set up for 4 separate spaces. Okay, so I'm on space number 1. I've got a certain desktop. It's also got a name. You'll notice the name in the bottom right hand corner. So for example, my first space is always for my Office applications. Okay, so let's switch to another one. So let's go to space number 2. Alright, first thing you'll notice is it's got a different desktop wallpaper. Also there's a name in the bottom right hand side I've changed. This is my parking area. It's basically any app that I reference but I'm not actively using, I tend to dump on that space. Okay, so let's swap to number 3. Again, you'll see I've got a different wallpaper and a different name, so all my virtual machines go on this. It's not you know, a life-changing application, but it's certainly pretty useful. It helps me keep quick reference as to where I've put applications.